with you?
So I'm going to do a case study. Last week, a story broke. This lady she was launching her salon, all right? Beautiful launch, by the way. And what happened was she was poisoned right there at a launch, and the second day she died.
Ooh.
Out of being poisoned by the people that she actually invited. All right, so I got a picture on the screen. You can look. So a lady allegedly poisoned to death after inviting friends to a launch of her new salon, and the video was definitely in the thing. We're not going to play that because the video was of her, enjoying herself at the event. So obviously, when you're going to do such an event, you invite friends, people that you know can help you, all right, people that colleagues, and one of those poisoned her.
Oh.
And she died. That's why they say your best friend is your best enemy. Say a lot of those things. But why should it be like that? That's the question we're going to be asking today. If we are going to consider ourselves friends, how can you discern to know this could be a good friend or a bad friend? Because I've also lost a lot of relationships in the past. Some people that I thought were my friends, but they had a lot of jealousy in me. And they just didn't want to see me go forward. But when they're with you, they're smiling. But when they're not with you, they are, backbiting you and poisoning. Because poisoning you can be anything through words and all those kind of things. So how can we discern to find such friendships which are good friendships? Then when you find yourself in this scenario of people backbiting and killing you, or worse, that's a worst case scenario, but maybe backbiting you, how can you deal with such friends? All right. Imagine you've been friends. And it also similarly happens, you forget that your wife and your husband are friends. Now imagine you've been married for 10 years, but the way you're treating each other, like you're enemies, but you live together. You live in the same house. You bath the same water, but there's just no peace. How can that be friendship? Yeah, let's go.
You see, the Bible says a brother is for adversity, but Jesus sticks more than a brother. Other versions, they put it nice like Good News and the NLT. Okay? So, so now, if it turns to be like what we have heard, is something that is unheard of. It's unheard of. And what brings that one is jealousy, of course, and if you tell your friends all your secret plans and all your futuristic plans, and your so-called friend, he knocks them down. Every time you say, I would like to do the I would like to do the just know that is not a good friend. There is no way whatever you say when you are together with him, he doesn't take it. Okay? He's like, just, that plan can't work, that thing can't work. Just know there is something behind his spirit or her spirit. Okay? So you find that those are the people. From the day you made friends with them, they hated you, okay? Yeah. But they wanted to control you, over-control you, take full control like a remote, okay? Yeah. To remote control you. And then they are still navigating how to remote control you. And there are some instincts within yourself that are resistant, okay? They would like to shape you and mold you into what they want for you to become a zombie or a gadoli, so that they can start now eating your money or eating whatever you are good at. Okay? So such friendship, they don't start just from like that. There is a big agenda to people who can end up doing such a thing. So even in your love relationship, don't mention.
But how can you not mention? Because one of the things that we look at is, even the Bible says, confess your sins to one another. You talk about your testimonies. I mean, you need people that you can share information with. Say, hey, what do you think? Because for me to be here, I've shared my vision to quite a lot of people. Others have shined it down. Others have praised me, but I've never lacked away from what I believe in. All right. But how can you not share?
You see, personally, me, I share to so-called friends, but I've got a principle of not sharing something that I know this person, he has no capacity of the brainwork, the medulla and the bongo of his gaba. He's slack, okay? His slack is immaterial. So I don't share. I don't. I'll end up at a certain level and they are not telling me A, B, C, D, E, F, G, R, A, E, O, U, no.
You see, when it comes to these issues of friendship and jealousy, it's very difficult to blame. I'm touched by the story.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to blame the entire thing on the person who did it. Because I will tell you something, what brings you together with a friend, it matters a lot. Because there are friendships that are born out of a bar, friendships that are born out of a competition, friendships that are born out of the altar. Look at the friendship of David and Jonathan. That was something beyond that. Jonathan could not even go with the father, with the family. He was able to become a spy in his own family. This is blood. They say blood is thicker than water. But the friendship became thicker than the blood. So you can see there are friendships that are born out of the altar of God. These ones are unquestionable. You can share with them anything that you want, because there will be no such kind of things. Now, before we blame people who are jealous in us, we must also look at ourselves again. Because jealousy, there's envy and jealousy. These are fruits of pride. So it could be that if you are moving in pride or maybe false humility, you are going to attract the opposite demon, the opposite spirits. And these opposite spirits is envy and jealousy. Because I am trying to give a false humility, or I'm trying to move in the pride. I'm not saying there are no people who have no jealousy or envy without anything. But we must also respect, when you understand demonology, the fact is that there are demons that work together and they carry out an assignment when they are working together in agreement. But there are also demons that work well when they are working in disagreement. And this is pride and jealousy. So if you develop pride, my jealousy in me will work well with you. And you realize that the friendship can be maintained because there's one common thing that brings us together. It might be work, it might be the belief system, and maybe I've advised you in a certain way. But as long as I begin to have envy over what you have, I'm going to begin to grow and develop jealousy. So I have a part to blame, but you also have a part to blame. So that's what operates. Because you are moving in pride.
But what if I'm not moving in pride?
Well, it means that I am the one to blame totally. But I'm saying this because it's a two-way situation. You see today, last time we were discussing on this platform, that is it wrong for me to celebrate my achievements? You remember that topic? It's a very diverse topic because in your celebration, you may be bringing proud. We see people are building small things and they are all over Facebook. You are attracting jealousy from nowhere.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to be as neutral as I can. There are people who have a lot of things and they'll be quiet there. So sometimes we are the one that attract that. But away from that, it is just a common thing that you will not grow without such things. Jealous will always be part.
But I mean, jealousy where it even goes to death. You see, this is now.
This is Jesus. Look at him. Because he has been through that. And the guy that did that to him is actually a relative. Because this is not only a disciple. These are people, the Jewish family. This is someone who had some relations. If you find out, you discover that Judas was at some point related to him. I have seen, that is one is even cheaper. Because this is a friend poisoning a friend. We have seen a wife poison a husband. Kill him.
Yes.
So this is a person, you have a covenant with them. All the things you are doing is for them. Human beings are wicked. The Bible says, foolish is a man who puts trust in another human being. But all in all, it's our failure to see in the spiritual realm, to discern what God is saying. It is possible. Even someone who loves you genuinely can still poison you. That is, if their strength with the altar of God is weak, they will still do it. Some of them will do it willingly. They want to do it. Others will do it because the devil just entered them. They didn't want to do it. But the devil took advantage of their weak mind, of their evil thoughts and envy. And the devil used them to kill you.
All right, welcome back. Still looking at how to discern to find great friends. Diana, you're with us. There's a lot of people be like, hey, Bapisha, hey, what's up, Bapisha? Hey, Vera gossip. What's up, Vera gossip? What's your take?
Okay, this is a very tough one. So, there are times, quite all right, Waddy, somebody would come to you and tell you, okay, this person was saying this about you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But we also need to know to say, before you react, because we're very quick to react, once you just hear, oh, Apostle Njenje was saying this about you, and now I say, I'm going to confront him. You know, you need to apply wisdom when it comes to confronting people. And that is why I love what Ruth said when she said it's very important for you to intercede. Because there are times somebody would come to you and tell you Apostle Njenje was saying something just for the sake of ruining what you and Apostle Njenje have.
Yes, yes.
So it's very important, you know, like, if you can't pray about it, if you know to say, okay, maybe God might delay to answer this, you need to now apply wisdom to say, okay, I'm going to try and get answers from this person, but do it strategically. So you talk to them slowly. Okay, remember we're having this conversation. What's your take on this and that? And you know, if somebody actually has ill intentions about you, they'll actually disclose it. You will find it very funny, but if you pay attention, they're going to disclose it.
Of course. It comes
and
out.
also, we should not ignore. It's not every time that you're supposed to ignore when somebody comes to say this person was saying this about you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they may be a jealous person, but there may be a certain level of truth to what they're saying. But the main thing, Waddy, is...
Or there could be 100% truth.
Yes, so the main thing is praying about it. We take friendships so casually. And we think, oh, this is not my spouse, this is not my mother, it's not my siblings, so I shouldn't pray about it. But pray about it. Because even if we look at, I think that should be Job 42:10. What does the Bible say? It said Job prayed for his friends. He prayed for his friends. So if the Bible is highlighting such things, then it should show you the importance of such things. You need to pray about it. And even in the book of Proverbs, it says 2 is better than 1. And a wise person needs to pray and intercede with regards to their friendship.
Just hold on. Do you still have the caller online? Hello, caller. You still there? Okay, caller has gone. All right. So, in a sense that in the workplace, family, elsewhere, jealousy is everywhere.
That's true.
Okay? And one of the things that builds jealousy is the tongue, where someone starts now to speak against you just to destroy your name. There's one thing physically destroying what you have built, probably in Oponya Nyumba. But when someone messes up with your name, it's a whole generation of gone there. All right, that's why you find a lot of people want you to destroy. There are certain names that we have heard in this world, and we've got a perception about them because of what we heard. We just hear, okay, imagine this is Zina. You're not even there, number one. You know, there's a guy, we all know that he married, Anadia Vichivirangamuriro 5, 6. You know him. Do you know who the person who ate a lot of Chilangamuriro people talk about in Zambia?
I don't know.
He's a musician.
You know him.
We all know. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
I know him.
But you know him. A lot of stories have been said about him. Even people that were never there, kids of today, they still, but when you hear him speak, you're like, but how was that even true? It never happened. But because of wildfire, it continues to run, and people have got a bad perception about this person because of what others
And sometimes
say
it's
about it.
not really about what other people say.
Yeah.
There are just certain people that the devil is going to use. Apostle Njenje mentioned earlier, he said, if you look at your life, the devil is always trying to destroy each one of us. So now he'll say, okay, who's the weakest link here? Or which friend can I use to destroy this person?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my testimony personally. I'll cut it short. So I had this friend. We were very close in high school. Very close with this person. We were very young at that time. But now we're doing the same thing. Well, I started doing it first, you know, arts and everything. And then I told this girl, I said, I've seen potential in you. Let's do it together.
Yeah.
And so when she started doing that, I would tell her, you're good at this. I would always encourage her. And other people saw that. And now they were saying, okay, we need to nurture her talent. And so now she became jealous to the point where she wanted to become better than me. But then she didn't realize that I started doing that way before her. So now it was that kind of thing where she's now trying to guard me to see, okay, so what is she doing next? Where is she going to work? What is she what? And we were 16 at that time. And so this girl now began to make up stories on social media. It went as far as somebody posting me saying this girl is a prostitute. We're not seeing her here anymore because she's done abortions and whatnot. Until somebody from church had to call and ask my parents to say, okay, what's happening with this child? So my parents were shocked. They were like, this is a child, and she's somebody who's very humble and decent. So she didn't even have time to do that. And this is somebody who was so close to me. That got done. We moved to me turning 20, turning 21. It continued. If I tell you this person has been on me like this on social media, asking people, what is she doing now? Where is she working now?
Yeah,
And it's still the same up to now.
Yeah.
So you see, if you don't pray about yourself, you know, pray, ask God to work on you. You as Waddy, you as Diana. Trust me, you will find yourself in a situation where you didn't even think you would actually be jealous of somebody.
Yeah.
So even you yourself, pray for yourself to say, God.
Also,
Yes.
That's a good one. That's
mumenye kumfeshi muntu waboza. All right, just kidding, just kidding. We don't support violence here. All right, so we're going to be done. Yeah, your last words, Apostle, before we...
My last words is that, like I think Diana has said, but I'll tell you something, jealousy It's not a demon. It's actually coming from the spirit of a ruler and someone who has dominion. Because the first person to have it was the devil himself. So when you are dealing with it, sometimes it may not even manifest. Because it comes with a lot of, like, most people who have this, it falls on people with the thrones. You have something that people are jealous after. And that's what came out in the devil. Jealous and envy developed. That's why it may not
look how God dealt with devil.
Yeah, so it may not happen that way.
Like,
so
look how God dealt with his jealousy. When he went around recruiting other angels saying, let's take over God.
It didn't happen in a day.
No, but I'm saying,
it didn't happen in a day.
But we're saying that he was
kept
recruiting.
on going and coming back for a long period
but
of time.
how did God deal with him?
It took time. He gave him enough time.
What did God do?
Enough time. And
What
you
did
heard
God do?
once. I thought you told me. The last words-
Baka devil,
my time for the
line,
last-
kupona kwezi.
Yes.